In this world, in our lives which are historically very short, we have two fundamental psychological needs. The first is to feel valued, and the second is to have hope. In this video, I want to talk to you about how you can feel valued and how to fill up the reservoir of value, which is one of the most basic human needs. First of all, I should point out that one of the biggest mistakes people who feel worthless make is trying to measure their value through the eyes of others. You may be aware of this, but even though you are aware, you may not realize that the root of your feeling of worthlessness comes from this. You can't keep a mill running with water carried from another source. If you measure your value by how others see you, you'll feel valuable when someone appreciates you, but when they don't, you'll feel like you've hit rock bottom. Therefore, if you don't want your emotional balance to be disturbed, you should set a reference point for yourself. Even if others don't value you, you should ask yourself why you are valuable. What is the meaning of your existence in the world? If you've been feeling worthless for a long time, you might think, there's no meaning in my being here. But my dear friend, I don't think that way. Even an ant has a purpose for being in this world. You may just not have discovered that purpose yet. You have a purpose for being in this world, both for yourself and for the people around you. If you're feeling worthless and can't find the root of it, this video might help you. The value others place on you is actually not very related to what you possess. Everyone views the world through their own lens. Some lenses are as clear as glass, while others are dusty and dirty. They may not be able to see the treasures within you. At this point, I'd like to give an example. Let's say you are a very valuable mineral, like gold or emerald. When you go to a jeweler, they will appraise this valuable mineral correctly. But if you go to a junk dealer, they'll give you the value of scrap metal. If you continue to measure your value through the eyes of others, when you go to the junk dealer, you'll start to feel like scrap. That's why you need to stop measuring your value through the eyes of others. Reflect on yourself. I have a suggestion. Let's say I am evaluating you for a job. Or you want to make me like you. You need to describe yourself. Think about how you benefit other people and write it down on paper. Write down 15 qualities in response to the question, why should someone like me? Just remembering these qualities will remind you of how valuable you are, independent of others. Sometimes, when viewed from the outside, people can judge you easily, not understand your situation, or belittle you. If you think others are belittling you, you might really start to believe you are that worthless. However, no one knows what you've been through, what pains you've suffered. You know what you've gone through. The things you experienced in childhood, perhaps things that would shock others. Because they don't know, others can judge you easily. Let them judge. But you know your story and don't forget how you stood strong despite these difficulties. People who feel worthless often act based on their emotions. At this point, I want to talk about the distinction between emotions and thoughts. Emotions are what we feel at a moment. We can feel overwhelmed. We can feel like a failure. We can feel ugly even if we're very attractive. I've worked with models, people who scored in the top 10 in university entrance exams, top-level doctors working in great companies. And I've seen how even these people can feel worthless. People can perceive their feelings as reality. For instance, one day you might feel very handsome, and another day you might feel very ugly. But you haven't changed. What we feel can change how we perceive reality. People who feel worthless think that when they feel that way, everyone else sees them the same way. However, your feelings might be deceiving you. Despite what you feel, you must act on your principles. Create a profile for yourself in life. How would someone who feels valued behave? How would someone who loves themselves behave? You should continue living according to these principles. Even if you feel worthless, act as if you are valuable. Even if you feel down, continue your life as if you are valuable. This way, you can change the cycle you are in. Finally, people who feel worthless often downplay their achievements and exaggerate their failures. They attribute their successes to luck or to others, but see their failures as entirely their own fault. That's why you need to evaluate your achievements fairly. Look at your past. You might be doing things easily that others would see as incredible successes, but you see them as failures. You're being unfair to yourself. Take care of yourself and remember, you are valuable.